Hello, welcome to another episode of AndersMill Knits. I'm your host, Emily, and I've been gone a long time, so let's do a little bit of a reminder of where you can find me. You can find me on Instagram as AKA Millie907, that's Millie, and on Ravelry as AKA Millie. And we also have a Ravelry group named AndersMill Knits. Surprise, surprise. So that about covers the introduction. So just a little reminder, I am coming to you, actually there's no reminder because where I'm coming to you from is brand new to you guys anyway. I am now back home in Anchorage, Alaska. I've been home since December 1st, which means I missed the huge earthquake by one day. That's right, guys. I have good luck in that regard. Actually, I have terrible luck. It just so happened that I missed the one horrific thing that happened in our Alaska natural history for a long time. It's the biggest quake since when my dad was a child. And he likes to tell horror stories about his experience with that. And my grandpa, when he was alive, he used to tell stories about that as well. But anyway, that's beside the point. So I am now back home in Anchorage, Alaska. I am currently staying with my parents as I get myself back on my feet. I live in a tiny, it's actually not that bad of a room. This is my bedroom right now, which really is my entire world as far as where I live. I went from a 2-bedroom apartment down to a bedroom. So besides from the 10 boxes of books that are in my parents' garage, everything I own in the entire world is contained in this room. And it's cramped. I might need to, pare down a little bit. We won't get into that. Especially yarn. Whatever. But I have been gone a long time, and I do want to take one wee moment to kind of explain, but not really explain because it's extremely personal. I went through a pretty difficult time with my marriage. It was very abusive, and I was trying to keep things together, pretend that everything was great, and then things just came to a big, huge head back in April of 2017. And I had to leave for my own safety. Now, I want to go on record as saying, I still love my ex-husband. He is now my ex, as of the same day we had the earthquake, 11:30. He is a wonderful man. He has difficulty with anger and controlling that anger, but that does not negate that he is a good man. I have anger problems. And I have self-destructive behaviors and tendencies. That does not take away from the fact, and believe me, I really do. I'm not going to get into what they are because it's a little bit shaming for me to talk about those things, but it does not negate the fact that I am a good person, and it's the same with my ex-husband. And so I just want to put that out there that I still believe that he is a good man, and I just wish things had been different. We're still very good friends. We talk a lot. He's going through a hard time, and I want to be there to support him. I've been going through a hard time, and he's been there to support me as he can. And so that was that. Okay, so then I moved into my own apartment. And things kind of went cattywampus from there. I tried really hard to keep things together, but then I was attacked in August and became very ill from that, and then I had to go on FMLA because of that. I just couldn't work anymore. Things were just really bad for me, and I was really having a hard time functioning. And as a therapist, it's actually really, really embarrassing to sit here and say, I don't know how to help myself. And that's what happened, is I literally lost my way. And luckily I have a beautiful, wonderful family that stuck with me. And, sorry, I'm not going to get verklempt. No. They stuck with me. They encouraged me. They reprimanded me. They never once, well, okay, that's not really true, so I won't talk about that, but they were there for me in the way that I would let them be, if that makes sense. And so things kind of just progressed to the point that in a few weeks before Thanksgiving, I made the decision that I just needed to return home. I was living on my own in Portland. At the time, I didn't feel like I really had a support unit, which was a complete and utter fallacy. I had awesome people around me. I just wasn't reaching out to them. But I just felt that I just needed to come home because I was like, I just need to be around my family. And my brother was there in Portland with his family, and they were trying as hard as they could. But again, I was rebuffing them. So the only way that I couldn't rebuff my family was if I was actually literally living in my parents' house. So that's what we decided to do. So I applied for a couple jobs back here in Anchorage, and I was hired. Actually, I got offers from both of them, but for some reason, I decided to take this one at a hospital here in town. Worst decision of my life, really, seriously. I'm not going to name the institution, but I only lasted 3 weeks because I felt that they were re-traumatizing the patients. And I was in the crisis unit. I had the worst of the worst, as in they were the most acute of the crisis clients in a residential unit. And I just felt like the way things were handled were re-traumatizing to the patients. And honestly, the patients felt the same way. Couldn't blame them. And things came to a head, and I left. And my parents were extremely supportive of that. And that was so relieving. I was so scared to come home for no reason at all, as in, like, the fear, to come home and to tell my parents, guess what? I've now lost my second job in less than 2 months. Which, by the way, I didn't lose my first job back in Portland. I was on FMLA, and they would still have me working there. They were just the most amazing company. I love the company that I worked for back in Portland. Can't say one bad thing about them. Sorry, I just realized something that I had was leaking onto my desk. And I would still be working for them and with them if I was still living in Portland, but I'm not, so I couldn't. So anyway, in less than 2 months, I had quit 2 jobs. That kind of took a toll on me as well, and I spiraled down a little bit again. I'm getting back up because I just made the decision one day. I don't think I can really pinpoint when this happened, but one day I woke up and all the things that all of my friends and family had been telling me about self-care and loving myself and doing good for myself just kind of clicked into place. And I'm going to talk about that in a different episode. I'm going to do episode 0.2 so that I can talk about that more in detail. I need to gather my thoughts a little bit more about that because it's kind of hard to really vocalize exactly the process that I went through. But I'm at a really good place right now, and I am so freaking excited about life, like ridiculously excited. I can barely sleep at night. I'm so excited. One of the things that I'm excited about is, well, my knitting. Oh my gosh. Oh my, guys, I didn't knit for, I think, the entire summer. I don't think I really knit at all. Like, it pained me to pick up my needles, and not because of some, it was something internal. I think it was almost as if I felt like I didn't deserve to be knitting. If that is a strange thing to say, but it's really, I think, the best way to explain why I wasn't knitting. So when we get to case notes, I literally only have 2 things because they're the only 2 things that I can remember finishing since our last time talking. So, but that is changing. But the other thing that I'm really, really, really excited about is exercise. I have never exercised in my life. When I was a teenager and I was being homeschooled by my mother, we had to do gym. And so she had to force me, and I do mean force me, to go to the gym and work out with her and my brother. The only kind of exercise thing that I liked was volleyball and riding horses. And then after I broke my leg when I was, I think, 17 from a fall from a horse, I didn't even ride horses anymore. And then after I had cancer, I made that an excuse as to why I wasn't exercising. I would tell people, oh, I'm just a walker. That's just what I do. I don't do all this gym stuff. I'm just a walker and a hiker. Bull. It was that I think I was scared of the gym. And the funny thing is, guys, is that now the gym is my happy place, besides from my local yarn shop, which you'll probably hear me mention quite a lot. And this is my morning shake. I've actually had 6 pieces of sausage, and now my morning shake that does kind of look like baby poop. But it's so delicious. So delicious. I made it up. I made everything up that goes in here. And it's like nirvana to me. Anyway, or ambrosia. It's ambrosia. I have to say that now the gym is one of my safest, the places that I feel the safest, the most accepted, the most non-judgmental. And it's not just because of the gym that I've joined, but I think it would mainly be any gym, I want to say, because I've now been a member of 2 gyms. I was a member of LA Fitness in Portland, and now I'm a member of Planet Fitness here in Anchorage, because we don't have LA Fitness here. I love my gym. Anyway, so I spend about 2.5 hours there every single day. Well, not every single day. I have 1 rest day a week. So 6 days a week I am in the gym. And why, you ask? Am I trying to lose weight? No, I'm not, actually. For once, I'm actually feeling pretty amazing about how I look and how I feel, and it has nothing to do with my weight. Granted, I've lost 15 pounds since I started this journey, but it's not because I went out seeking to lose 15 pounds. Last night, I ate Skittles. Today, I'm probably going to eat Skittles again. Maybe some M&Ms, because I like candy and I like sugar. I am not I'm not going on this health kick necessarily. It's that there's things in my life that I've wanted to do for so long that I've made excuse after excuse after excuse to not do, and I am tired of doing that. And so one of the things is riding a bicycle. And it's not just riding a bicycle, it's riding a bicycle from Anchorage to Seward. Now, when I first calculated this out, I was calculating out riding from Anchorage to Seward from my parents' house to a church that I know in Seward, and that was 123 miles. I've since modified this to follow a race route that happens in September, which I will be participating in, and that is 114 miles. So it's a little less. There you go, about 10 miles, 9 miles, something like that. So the reason I keep picking up the paper is because I have a regimen 3 days a week in which I bike for about 60 to 65 minutes on the bicycle that I have available to me. And then on those the off days that I'm not doing that, I'm working on strengthening my core, because I have learned that a great deal of your ability to bike is actually in your core and in your shoulders and arms. So, because a lot of your weight is being held, especially with long distance biking. And that's my goal, is to long distance bike. So I'm pretty excited. I have made a goal that I will be riding from the start line of the race on July 24th, which is my birthday, which is the middle of the week, but still, whatever, to Seward. And on that occasion, I am going with at least one friend. I've got one friend that's coming with me, and we're going to be taking 2 days for that. And the reason is because I want to take 2 days. I don't want to do it in 1 day. I want to bring my dog. I want to have, I am so excited about this. I want to have one of those little carriages in the back. I don't know what they're called, where the little kids sit when the parents are taking a bike ride. I want that for Watson. So he can run with us part of the way, but also have a safe place for him to go. And plus, wouldn't that be great just to have all the gear for the overnighting? Yeah. And so I plan on doing that. And I have a really good friend. Well, okay, so it's kind of weird because I grew up with my friend Tylene, and I wouldn't say that we were ever truly friends growing up. However, we've kind of connected again over the last couple years via Instagram and Facebook, and she is one of the most amazing people in the entire world. Well, she also has an amazing father, well, and siblings and a husband and all kinds of things, but whatever. And her father has done the Ironman race, I think 3 times. And he's biked 10,000 miles across China. And a myriad of other things. He's done all kinds of triathlons and all kinds of things. And so he has very kindly volunteered himself to help me in my training regimen. And for this month, I literally have a 4-page, minute-by-minute explanation. Oh, I guess that's the first page. Explanation of what I do on the bike, sometimes even second by second. Like at one point, we even go in 10-second intervals. And I do this for 3 weeks, and then my 4th week is kind of like a cool down before I get back up, and I have a new regimen for the month of April. And he's going to continue doing that. And right now he lives in China, and he'll be coming back from China in, I think, June, maybe April, I'm not sure. And then we're going to try and do some road training as well. So I'm really excited about this. And then I've got a lot of other things that I'm super excited about, but we're at 17:20, and so I think we need to get into some knitting. So, because I'm super, excuse my French, I am damn excited about my knitting. And that, oh, did you like that? And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a miracle for me. And one of the reasons why I think this is happening is because I've reconnected to my good friend Annie, who she and her mom Kay own Far North Yarn Company here in town. And years and years ago, like well over 10 years ago, I connected with them because I think I've been knitting since, well, I know I've been knitting since my early 20s, so I think I've been knitting for almost 17 years now, and I connected with them then. And they were amazing. Kay taught me to knit socks, which I hated the first time through, but I defy anybody to like knitting socks the first time through. If you do, there might be something wrong up here, because it's like a mysterious gumbo jambalaya kind of thing going on. But once you understand the construction of socks and you get the hang of it, like it is, well, why do I always have socks on the needles? Because it's soothing to me. I always have a pair of socks on the needles, at least one. And you guys have known that sometimes I have like 7 or more on the needles. So I connected with them again. And one of the things that happened is that they decided to do a 3-month long, I think. Maybe it's 2-month knit along, doing the Weekender sweater by Andrea Mowry. And so that looks like this. Oh, I'm going to stick that in my shake. And it's gorgeous, right? But do you notice how it puffs out right there? That is not Andrea Mowry's tummy. That is 10 inches of ease on this sweater. Because this woman here is thin. 10 inches of ease on this body ain't happening. So I readjusted, and I am knitting a much smaller size than I normally would. Wow, I haven't really gotten very far. It's because there's so many things that I'm knitting on, but it's so scrumptious. So, sorry, I gotta reach behind my camera here. Hi. So my main base, and I just dropped my phone, which I think I'm going to need at some point, so I better get it. There we go. So my main base for this sweater, wait, hold on. First I'm going to tell you what size I'm knitting. I think I'm knitting, why can't I see what I'm knitting? I'm knitting the size large, which feels dang good, I'm telling you. But, you know, it's got lots of ease in it. So by the time things are done, from when I actually measured myself, I was going to have 2 to 4 extra inches of ease. Now, the way things are going, I might just have 6 or 8 inches of ease. And again, that is not because I am trying to lose weight. I'm just trying to meet my goals. So, the yarn that I'm using is actually a yarn that I hand dyed myself back when I had AndersMill knits, but actually this was dyed in my prototype days before I was AndersMill knits. I was actually inked knits because, you know, I was working in my dad's print shop. I thought, oh, I'll be cutesy and name it inked because ink, printing, hello. And then I thought ink, dyeing, kind of goes. Anyway, oh, this is so soft. I never liked this color. I've never liked this color. It's a brown taupey. That's actually perfect right there. It's a brown taupey color, and it is kettle dyed, and there's a lot of variation within every single skein. And this is BFL. Well, I just determined I'm going to use that for this sweater, period. Well, the thing is that I wasn't getting gauge. So then Annie at the yarn store had a brilliant idea that I just add on a lace weight strand of mohair right there. You see it? There we go. And we went through the store one afternoon and we looked at, like, I don't know, 10, 12 different colors and bases that she had. And we landed on Debbie Bliss Angel in the oh so wonderful name of 15035. And it is a, let's see, what's the makeup? So it is 70% mohair, 24% silk. And so there's 200 meters in 25 grams. So there's probably about 214-ish yards in every gram. And what I decided to do is to combine the mohair and my brown into a cake so that I wasn't pulling 2 strands at once from 2 different cakes. Does that make sense? So now I just have one single strand, and that's what it looks like. I know the cakes look funny. And because technically it was going to be 4 different cakes because I have to alternate skeins every row in order to make this work. So what does this look like, you ask? Well, I will show you. This is my weekender sweater. Oh God, let's make sure this doesn't fall off the needles. It's on kind of a shorter needle. And yeah, that's actually pretty accurate. It is the softest, most loveliest thing. And you know what the greatest compliment is? I actually don't know how many of my friends at the knit shop have actually said to me, I want to knit another weekender sweater and do just what you just did. Because the weekender calls for not Loft and not Arbor from Brooklyn Tweed, but suggested yarn Brooklyn Tweed's Shelter. And that's not a tacky. Well, it is kind of sticky, but not in a bad way. It's got lanolin in it still, which is lovely. But it's also kind of stiff, in my opinion. But I'm told that it softens up amazingly. But it doesn't help that this is like the softest thing in the entire world to be knitting with in the moment. Which is funny because I'm told that BFL is actually pretty, I mean, not really comfortable to knit with. Like, it's rough. And it's not next to the skin soft. Mine is. I don't know if I did something when I was dyeing it, I mean, because this is like 8 years ago. I don't know if I did something when I was dyeing with it, or if I just had a really good mill, which I did. I really had a really good mill. If I ever went back to hand dyeing again, I would go right back to my mill that I had before, which anyway, so I am this far along. Most of my friends at the knit shop are way farther along. If you guys want, you can go on my Instagram feed, and every Thursday night we all get together and we knit on this sweater. Now at the moment I actually have another obligation knitting. It's not obligation knitting at all. I volunteered for it. I want to do it, and I am addicted to it, and I will get to that in just a second. Pardon me. But every Thursday night we are knitting as a large group together on this sweater. And so every Thursday I have been documenting that event. And so you can see all the different styles that people are doing, different yarns. Some people are even doing 100% cotton yarns. No one got gauge with the needles recommended in the pattern. No one. So for me, I wrote this down so I wouldn't forget, as Indiana Jones' dad says. Okay, so for me, there's 3 needle sizes needed. So my largest size needle is a size 8, which in the pattern, the largest size needle is a 9. And so then I just incrementally go down. So my smallest size is a 6, 7, and 8. Those are the 3 that I'm using. And so I'm really excited about this. And it is living in a bag that I picked up from, oh my gosh, Fat Squirrel Fibers. It's like, how could I forget Amy Beth's shop? She's one of my favorite bag shops, besides from like the Rusted Stitch and stuff, which is Stephanie Hot Pink Socks. And I just was like, oh my goodness, this just goes perfectly together. I had to do it. And it's housing right now about 6 skeins of yarn, all caked up, plus my working project and the pattern, and some notions at the very bottom. You probably cannot see very well, but I'm trying, so there's a lot of stuff in there. A lot. And it all fits very nicely if I can get my red lace Tiagus to actually go back in the bag so I can shut it. So that's project number 1. I'm not in a great hurry to have this done, and I'll tell you why. Sweaters in Alaska are a year-round event, because unless you go to the interior, you're never going to come across a time where sweaters, it's not sweater weather. Here in Anchorage, getting into the 70s maybe some days, but usually you'll still have a breeze, so it still feels good to wear a sweater. So especially when you're camping. So I have all these daydreams going on in my head about camping and wearing my sweaters that I'm knitting right now. So the thing that is taking up the majority of my energy at this moment, I'm going to take out my book, which is about vision boards. I was given this the other day, and I'm super excited about this. I think it was written by a local author. I'm not sure, but I'm going to do vision boards. Anyway, the thing that I am really super dang excited about right now is a test knit. And that reminds me, that is why I had my phone, because I want to show you the sweater. Okay, so it's from Kay Hopkins, a very good friend of mine. I absolutely love Kay. And she designed a sweater for her son because he'd been complaining that he didn't have one, whatever. But at the same time, it's rather a unisex sweater. And so she put a call out on Instagram for test knitters, and I, like, literally within seconds jumped on that and said, yes, please. And so this is the sweater. It's called I don't know what it's called, and it's not listed on here. Okay, I know what it's called. I just need to go. But it's a tight turnaround for a sweater. I have to have everything done by the end of this month. And so I'm working exclusively on that for the most part. Honestly, there's a couple other things that I'm knitting on, but for the most part, I'm knitting on this, and I'm very happy to be knitting on this. Sorry, I'm just going to my pattern really quick so I can get the name. Abequa. Kay always names all of her patterns after places in Oregon, and I believe the story behind the name of this one is that this was a river or a stream that was close by to where she grew up, and she grew up playing in it, and so, you know, she named it that. So the sweater takes two colors. In the pattern, she's using a gradient. She even says you can use self-striping yarn for the yoke part. See, this shirt that I'm wearing now is actually a really good example. So this right here is a yoke. And so, and that's what you're knitting first in her pattern. And she says knit with self-striping, knit with gradients, whatever you like. Well, I don't have a stash of DK, and I specifically don't have a stash of DK, like beautiful gradient yarns or self-striping yarns. So once again, I went to my friend Annie at Far North Yarn Company, and I picked out Brooklyn Tweed Loft yarn in two different colorways. So the first thing you're seeing right now is the contrast colorway, which is, I think, Slade or Slate. That's the main colorway. Oh wait, I have it written down. Again, I had it written down so I wouldn't have to remember. So let's see. The main colorway is... No, the contrasting colorway is Heron. Yeah, Heron. So it's a kind of a... That is not the color really at all. Let's see if I can't get it somewhere. No, I think it's because the blue right here is picking up on it. Because this is a gray, and it's got kind of a tiny bit of green and a tiny bit of blue overtones to it. And then, so I did the yoke, which kind of looks like a floppy mess right now, but was so freaking fun. I have never done a construction like this for a yoke, and it was so fun. I'm already in my head thinking, I might want to do another one of these. So then I am now on the body of the sweater, and I'm knitting it in my main color, which is Lovat, L-O-V-A-T, of the same thing. And that, again, is not the right colorway. That's coming out a little dark. Let's see. It's just not working. That's a little bit better. There you go, right there. That's the color, right there. Of course, you know, the whiteness of my hair really contrasts well with it. That's so sad. So I am on the main body, and I had a goal to knit one skein a day of the main body, and I was able to do that on Sunday. That was it. So today I want to catch up. I want to knit the other half of this skein, and I'm going to knit another skein as well. So that's a tall order, but I think I can do it, you know? Especially since I love knitting on it. Oh my gosh, guys. This yarn is so scrumptious. So yummy. So this is 100% American Targhee wool. And it's not a big put up in each skein, which is kind of annoying, but whatever. So it's DK weight, and there's only 145 yards in each skein. It's rather pricey, but I think this is worth it, so I'm going for it. I'm loving it. So those are my two sweaters that I'm working on. The other thing that I am putting a tiny bit of time into, because his birthday is this month, and we're having the family birthday party this month, is a hat for my brother-in-law. I feel like my brother-in-law is extremely knit-worthy, you know? He's still wearing the hat that I knit him at least 10 years ago. And that thing is old and, like, needs to be retired. But he loves it. And that just makes me so happy. Like, he wears it every day. So I'm knitting him a new one, but this time I wanted to knit him one that he could wash. And I went to Joann's, and I don't know, like, this just made me happy. I don't like red. And I don't know if my brother-in-law is going to look good with a red hat on, but this is the Jeans Colors by Lion Brand. And this is the colorway of Jumpsuit. And this is the hat that I'm knitting. Oh, isn't that pretty? Isn't that pretty? Oh. Okay, so the hat is Hinagiku hat. Hinagiku hat. So that's spelled Hinagiku hat. And that can be found on Ravelry. And I think it's free. I think. But I just saw it and I wanted to knit it. And I just love the detail. It's kind of like a broken up basket weave kind of thing with these guys. So anyway, it's very scrumptious and lovely. And so I'm knitting on that, and I need to have that done for the family birthday get together that is happening on the 17th. So he is the only one getting any kind of hand knit item that day. That day we are celebrating like 5 birthdays in the family. My dad, my oldest brother, my brother-in-law, actually both brother-in-laws, 2 of the 3 brother-in-laws, and one of my nieces. I think that's right. But he's the only one getting a hand knit item. My dad has never received any hand knit items because he just doesn't like them. And my brother Ian, he's actually extremely knit worthy too. If I can get a hat done for Ian, because he loves wearing hats, I would. So, but I have to be realistic. So I might be printing up an IOU. Ian, I've knit him a sweater, a pair of socks, at least 1 pair of socks, if not more, and at least 1 hat. I feel like I've knit him more than that. And he wears all of them on the regular, by the way. So this is living in a very cute little bag that my sister Amy made me for Christmas. He's so cute. Yeah. And then on the inside, she put some plaid. And it's just absolutely perfect. She didn't intend for this. Actually, I don't think she had anything truly in mind when she made this bag for me. She just likes to make bags because she knows that I love project bags. So she made this for me. And I love it. She did some kind of lining or something in it because it's kind of like squishy and slow. And, what's the word? Comfy? Yeah. But anyway, it's fun. I don't care that it's not Christmas. It just makes me happy. Okay, I have to drink some more of my... It's starting to get room temperature, and not so good at room temperature. Okay, lots of other things I'm knitting on. The next thing I'm knitting on is a shawl, and this is something I'm knitting on with my niece, Miriam, who is an extremely crafty girl and extremely talented crafty girl. I feel like I'm slouching. And so we decided that we were going to cast on a girl's best friend together. Now you can't see the different colors, but there's 3 different colors going on here. There's baubles, there's lace, there's textured knitting. Then there's, oh God, can you see that at all? You get to do pom-poms. Sorry, that was probably right in the microphone. So this is pretty darn awesome. I cast this on with my lovely niece, but then I immediately got distracted. But I did get through the first section, which was the textured stitching. And this main colorway, or colorway 1, is Hazel Knits in the Cabbage Rose colorway, which is probably my favorite color that Hazel Knits has ever done. It's either this or her purple one, which I cannot remember what that one's called. And then I'm contrasting it with 2 skeins of yarn from a hand dyer that I'd never heard of before, but I picked this up at a festival back in Oregon this last fall, and it's from Sew Happy Jane, as in S-E-W Happy Jane. And wait, can you see that? I'm sorry, I want to make sure. There. Okay, so the first one wait, hold on. The first one that I just started bringing in is called the Aberdeen colorway, which is a purple. Which, hello, Emily loves purples, of course. And then the second one is called Lavender's Blue. I love this one. So, I'm starting to get into the lace section, which will be this one. And then, honestly, I think I'm going to, no matter what happens, I'm going to make sure that this is my last little bit, like the ribbing edge for this shawl. I just want that on the edge. It's got this lavender blue base. That is so not the color. God, this is bad. But it's got rusty orange specks, yellow, hot pink, brown, purple, a tiny bit of acid green. This does not sound pretty as I'm listing all this colors. But it's gorgeous, okay? Just believe me. And this is living in my bag from another good friend of mine who I absolutely love her project bags as well. And, God, sorry, I'm just trying to put everything back in. The Handmaker's bag, and my friend's name is Catherine, and she makes these. I highly, highly, highly suggest going to her website. And she is very ingenious. So I asked her to make me this. It's rather like the field bags, but it's not 60, 80 bucks. So she's got this canvas fabric on the front, which is still soft. And then inside she's got this loveliness going on. And then there's drawstrings. And then also on the inside, we've got a pocket sieve. Right there. And then I've got a lovely, which I honestly I've never used yet, handle on the side. It's dirty. It's been seeing some love. And it fits everything quite pleasantly. And I just hit my picture on my wall. So I'm working on that as well. Let's just be honest, I haven't worked on it at all in the last 3 weeks. But my niece Miriam, who I'm hoping to get on the show like next time, has just been going gangbusters on it. She loves it. She actually ran out of one of the colorways, the second colorway, which was rather strange. But she made it work, and it looks beautiful. The next thing I am working on is my usual socks on the go, and that is right here. This is Yarn Jar. The main colorway is Yarn Jar, and here's what it looks like when it's not any kind of pattern. And the colorway is called September Honey. So Yarn Jar. I'm knitting it on size zeros or double zeros. Oh, I'm in the middle of a row? Are you kidding me? I stopped in the middle of a row? Oh boy, I better fix that. 2 millimeters. Is that double zeros? I don't know because it only says 2 millimeters on both needles. So I'm knitting this on size 2 millimeters. And so I'm just doing a little bit. I just made it up. I'm just doing knit 3. So when I change to a new color on the stripe, I will knit 3, slip 1, knit 3, slip 1. I mean, yeah, slip 1. And so I'm just keeping that going all the way down. And then once after I did the heel, I'm on the bottom of the foot, I'm just doing straight stitch. But on the front, I'm continuing that pattern. And then the contrast, heels, cuffs, and toes, is a mystery skein. But it's not a mystery skein because I know I have the tag somewhere. But I think it's called Banana something or other. And there's this beautiful yellow with pops of browns. Brown is the main pop, and little tiny specks of blue, and even fewer. How about just fewer? We'll just say that. Specks of like a hot pink. So I don't even know if you can see. Can you see just this little space right here? So there's the blue, and there's the hot pink speck. That's really how it goes. See, there's some more blue right there. So for the main part, that's what it is. I'm using my Fish Lips Kiss heel, in which before I started doing the Fish Lips Kiss heel on this last stripe, before I did that, I increased, so let's see, 4 extra stitches so that my heel would be deeper and wider. I've discovered that that's what I need. And then apparently I forgot to decrease those 4 stitches. So I've just started decreasing those 4 stitches now. Because otherwise this luck's gonna be a little too big for me. But I knit that on size 2mm with 60 stitches around. So, and I did a twisted rib at the top. And this is living in another Fat Squirrel Speaks bag. I kind of like them. She's my girl. She's, as some people say, she's my jam. So there's that. That one does not have a pattern, like I said. It's just my on-the-go regular recipe sock. Second to last thing, well, last thing I'm knitting, but second to last project, is the Midtown Magic shawl, which is free on Instagram. I mean, on Ravelry. And so the main color is black, and the contrasting color, she just is using a variegated. Well, she's using a variegated, yeah, duh. And I'm using a highly contrasted variegated. So my 2 skeins are my regular one, which I didn't realize this was single ply. How I did not get that until I was caking it up, I don't know. But it's Malabrigo single ply in the black colorway. And then I'm knitting this for a friend, and she actually, at that same festival that I went to that I picked up the skeins of yarns that I'm using from a Girl's Best Friend shawl, she saw this at the Knitted Wit booth, and she just had to have it, but she doesn't knit. So she said, could you knit me something with this? And I said, sweetheart, it's gorgeous, but what the heck would I knit with this? Because it's a tiny bit loud, but it's fun. It's really fun. It's so freaking fun. So it's got blues, pinks, orange, green, everything in there. In fact, I think it even has a little bit of black. And this colorway is called Love is Love by Knitted Wit. And this is in her sock base. And so this is as far as I've gotten. It's a very simple repeat, but I love the swoopiness that's going on and the drapiness. I don't like knitting with single ply yarn. I just don't. However, I do like the drapiness. And if the item is not going to be hard wearing, sure, let's do it. And I think for a shawl, it's perfect for a shawl. So, it's really pretty much intuitive. And then, so we've got the lace coming in, and this lace is now starting to, no, not yet. The next time I'm doing 2 repeats of the lace, and it's starting to gradually get more, not vibrant, but become more of a presence within the shawl, if that makes sense. And so I'm knitting these on size 5, obviously Chiagu, because that's my go-to. Red lace needles. Loving it! And I've got all these little bits and bobs on the end, and I hate to say it, but I kind of want to leave them and maybe try and make some kind of tassel thing going on. I don't know. Would that be a thing? I don't know. We'll see. At the end, we'll see how much yarn I have left over of Love is Love and see if maybe that could work. I've never done tassels. I'd love to do them, but I'm a little nervous. So let's make sure. Yeah, so it's the Malabrigo Machetta is the single ply, and it's in colorway 195 black. Is that showing up correctly on your screen? I don't know, because it's backwards when I look at it. So hopefully it's not when you look at it. And that's Living Another Fat Squirrel Speaks. It's like I don't have enough of her stuff, right? Okay, that does not look pretty. Okay, so my last thing is I'm crocheting a blanket. I don't know what's gotten into me. But I have all these minis, all these scrappies, and you know, this was the second year doing the 24 Days of Cheer swap, and I had 2 partners this time. One was Stephanie of Hot Pink Socks, who was amazing. She actually, because I was going through such a hard time, she pretty much ran the show this year, and that was, I just got to sit back and pretty much have fun with it. And so I had Stephanie, and then I had another lady out of Jersey, I want to say. Oh, I feel so bad. Emily, you're such a jerk that you can't remember who your partners were. But anyway, so, okay, so first I want to show the first thing I opened up on that Special Ladies Advent calendar was she had made me a freaking bag. Christmas bag with doggies and lights. And, oh my goodness. And again, I don't care that it's not Christmas. I just love it. I gotta have it with me all the time. And so then I just started scanning up a whole bunch, or if they weren't scanned already, I just started, like, I kind of felt like I was, what do they call it? When the dog is digging a hole in the ground, I was doing this. I was going through all my yarn stash, just doing this with all of my mini skeins and all of my scraps and stuff. Gimme, 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 gimme. And I put them all together. They're scattered throughout my room. But the ones that I am going to immediately use, I haven't even shown you the blanket yet, but the bag is 95 or 70% full. Oh my gosh, this bag is amazing. It's got pockets everywhere. It's got these little doohickeys, so if you're doing on both sides, so if you're doing like stranded knitting, or if you want to put your keys inside, like this woman, if she's not selling bags, she needs to be selling bags. Because I'm just telling you guys, this is amazing. I gotta find out who she is and remind myself who she is. But, so I've got all kinds. Like from, well, let's not have trash in there, shall we? From past projects. This is a past project purple, but this is what some of the stuff that I got in the swap. This came from Stephanie, I know that. I don't know what these are. Some of these things aren't even balled up yet. They're still in the mini things, but I don't really care. And I am using a, this is hilarious. This is also Chiagu. And a size E hook to crochet it. Emily kind of likes Chiagu. Oh my gosh. I have this bag so full of yarn that even in the pockets, I've got yarn, balls of yarn stuffed in there. Okay, are you guys ready to see this awesomeness? I'm sorry, but I might be biased, but at the same time, let's just say it. It's freaking amazing. So, there's all kinds of little doohickeys hanging down. I gotta figure out with crochet how to go from one skein to the next. Do you just knot it and cut it? I mean, like, because in knitting you just weave it in and it's good, but is that the same thing in crochet? I don't know. So, I've been a little nervous. But anyway, so here we go. I have no idea what pretty much any of these colorways are. I'm just having a freaking amazing time with it. So, my kind of rule is I want this to be as psychedelic as possible. So I can go like, let's see if I can show you, like maybe 1.5 rows or 1 1/4 rows. See, because you see the purple, how it's the purple here, how it's up here as well. They're 2 different purples, I promise. Just because I have a problem with purple. I have a lot of purple. But anyway, for the most part, I just really want every row to be different. Every row. And it's long. I think I chained something like 300 chains. And this is going to be humongous. It's going to take me forever, but I don't care because it's extremely relaxing. So, okay, here's one thing. Everybody that I know, pretty much everybody that I've seen, is knitting this on a lot smaller crochet hook size than I am. And so what that means is that, and it also means that this is the one thing that I dislike about crochet, is that the stitches are really stiff and pretty knotty, as in like lumpy. And I hate that. And so my intention, oh, that's my cast on row, by the way. So this is where I am. So my intention has been from the beginning to knit it at a looser gauge and just be as loosey-goosey as I can, just be free-flowing. So this was a practice for me because, you know, sorry, I keep looking over here. I need to have it face that way. Anyway, because you guys are over here. So just to be loosey-goosey, so that's why I went up to a size E. I think it's at least 2 needle sizes smaller is what everybody else is using, which I have no idea what that is. Would that be A, B, C, D, E, F, A, B, C, D, E? So would that be a C hook? I'm still that bad at the ABCs that I have to do the ABCs in order to figure that out. So that is my scrappy granny square blanket. I'm very excited about. So I am going to be knitting on this. You'll see this probably every time I podcast for the next 2 years. Hey, am I going to be podcasting for 2 years? That'd be cool. Somebody just texted me hi. I don't know who that is. Anyway. Okay. So those are all the projects that I'm working on. And we are at an hour. This is a long episode. So now on to case notes. I have an epic case note. My Find Your Fade is done. And it is the biggest thing, besides from a blanket, that I have ever knit. And yes, okay, all of the ends have been woven in. I've literally just been too lazy to cut them off. Which is so funny because I wasn't lazy enough. I wasn't too lazy to... Yeah, and things got wonky. I don't know what was happening. I don't know if that was when I was blocking it or not. But I don't know what all these colors are. I don't know if I told you guys when I first started what all the colorways are. I know there's a Highlander colorway in there and all this kind of stuff. And I ended on a Hemingway color. I know that, which is a MCN, which is lovely. But this thing is humongous. It's taller. I don't know. It's huge. And it's lovely. And I just want to wear it all the time. Until I have Shawl. Except I'm really hot now. So I gotta take it off. It does keep me warm. It's like a blanket all the time. I get lots of compliments on this. Lots of compliments. And it's lovely because Alaska is completely shawl weather appropriate. So I knit that. I was determined to get that done. Around Christmas time, I just said to myself, no more, Emily. You are sitting down and finishing this damn thing. Apparently I like the word damn. Whoops. The other thing I did was I knit a pair of socks for my sister Amy using Mondin yarn. Can't find the skein. It must be over on my bed. Mondin yarn and that mysterious banana colorway. So there's that. So it heels, toes, and cuff. And my sister Amy, her favorite color is yellow. One of her favorite colors. It's also one of my favorite colors. I just can't wear it because, at least close to my face, because whew, that would not be good. But I like my sister and all my sisters and my mother and I are, well, maybe not so much my mom, but my sisters and I are very much alike. My sister Amy colored this wall a soft sky blue. And it's perfect for me. I love it. The only other color I might have picked was a soft butter yellow. Because rooms that are those colors to me are the most soothing in the world. And that's what bedroom should be, is soothing. So now that I've finally shown these, I can give them to Amy. Which, you know, oh wait. The skein is in my, oh boy. Color, it's Mondim color 204. I don't know. So I got a lot of leftovers, which is lovely, which I can now add to my blanket. So, there you go. So socks for Amy, done. Okay, now on to acquisitions, or in my toolbox. There's a lot. And I'm not even showing you partial of what I've got. I'm just showing you a few select things. And even that's a lot. So the first thing I want to show is something that I am extremely excited about. And that is Row 1 Yarns. And what this company is a lady, I can't remember her name, but she's so freaking sweet. Oh my gosh. Like every time I've emailed her, we've just had these long conversations via email. and you can tell that she just cares about everyone. Like, anyway. So what she does is she picks a dyer, and an indie dyer, and she makes up a whole bunch of mini skeins of a bunch of their colorways, and then she ships them up to you each month. And it's extremely affordable too. Let's see, is this my... So this, and each month she also tells you who it is that you're getting, and then the base that you're getting, and the colorways that you're getting. So this, in this bag, is lichen and lace. And so she tells me that lichen and lace is hand dyed in Sackville, New Brunswick, Canada by Megan Igman, an artist who is inspired by the quiet beauty of nature. So you can find their yarns at lichenandlace.com. I love this lady. All of the colorways are just singing to me. So this one's called Sea Grass. She even puts them on, so they come in these cute little things. And she even puts the colorways on every single mini as well. So this one is called Amber. I won't show you all of them. I'll just show you a select few. And this one's Sugar and Plum. And so that's from this lovely lady, Lichen and Lace. I have 4 months worth, because this is so affordable that even though I'm jobless at the moment, I make it happen. So, and I'm not jobless. Just so you guys know, I am substitute teaching right now. So that is taking up a lot of my time as well, and it's keeping things afloat. So the next one is from, oh, and she always sends you, everything's pretty and packaged. And then she always sends you a little stitch marker and candy, and I always eat the candies immediately. This one is by Old Soul Fiber Company, and I won't get out the thing to read, but this is that. Then, let's see, I might have to pause so that I can do something, but I'll get through this first. Oh, look, I haven't eaten these two. So this one is from Yarn Baby. So there's all that. And this right here is where the paper is. And it's so cute. Where the paper is. She just thinks of everything to make it just the complete package. Oh, she's just amazing. This is where the writing is about who the hand dyer is, and care instructions, and the base that's in here, and all the different colorways. So there's that one. And the last one is, don't worry, this one doesn't crinkle. And this one I've also opened. This one is Bah Yarn. Bah Yarn. B-A-A-H yarn. And this one's called Tickled Pink. Tickled Pink. And then there's this one. Oh, I love this one. Heart of Gold. Oh my gosh. I might need a sweater out of this. What? Stop, Emily. Stop. And this one. Ugh. I can totally see Hot Pink Socks, Stephanie, knitting a sweater for herself out of this. So it's just chocked full of yummy goodness. And now I will be right back, guys. All right. Sorry about that. So I'm kind of drinking more than, like, yesterday I think I drank 110 ounces of water, and today so far I've drank 60. and it's not even noon yet. Well, because I just worked out for, you know, each time I get on the bicycle, I drink at least 40 ounces of water as I'm biking. And then, of course, I'm still like craving water once I'm done. So what that means, though, is that when my body tells me I have to pee, I have to pee. And it was telling me, like, right when I started to talk about Roman yarns, I was like, oh no, oh no. So you wanted to know. But the other thing, oh, by the way, the other thing about, I'm getting all nice and close to you, because the other thing now is I'm sweating an awful lot, and I'm noticing I'm now getting pimples. Where's the other one? There was another one. Oh, I had one here. Oh, wait. No. I had one around here earlier. I don't get pimples. People think I'm weird because, okay, so I don't put makeup on my face except for here. So what that means to me is that, so one of the things that I try to do is I try not to put any chemicals on my face as far as cleaning it. So it's stripping away the natural oils. And that has helped me a lot over the years. When I was a teenager, I had horrible acne, at least to me. Oh yeah, and I get them on my shoulders too. There you go. But so I don't use soap or any astringent on my face. I just use an organic linen washcloth that I knit, and I wash my face with that with water. And then I use cold cream to take off my stuff from my eyes. That's it. Well, even with that, now I'm getting pimples. So, but that's okay, because I'm told, my sister told me that it just means that I'm sweating out all the impurities, and that's why it's happening. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm good with that then. I can be a teenager again. I don't mind. Okay, so we talked about Rowan yarns. All the scrumptiness. I'm so excited. Any day now, I've got my 5th package from her coming. You know what I'm kind of thinking is I might not even use these in my blanket. I might like make a special project for each, or maybe combine them all into one special project. I don't know, but I just love this company. So, but then again, I love everything. Who are we kidding? Okay, so something super excited that I did this last week with my friend Annie at the yarn store. Sorry for the crinkling. Everybody always says that. Whatever. Sorry, not sorry, because I'm excited about what's inside the bag. So, there's 2 colorways that I've been absolutely loving with Brooklyn Tweed. Loving them in particular together. And so, and I love their loft. I love their targy base. So, this is a purple. Oh my gosh, you so cannot see that. Can you see the purple now? There you go. That's a purple. And it's called Plum. There you go. And I've loved it matched up with this, which is Sap. It's like this acidy green tweed. They're both tweeds. And so I had seen this other skein of Madeline Tosh in Annie's store, and it was hot pink. And I got to thinking to myself, wouldn't it be interesting? And I knew it was superwash as well. I thought to myself, wouldn't it be interesting if I could just do something extremely loud with a lot of loud colors that go well together, but of different bases or different, at least different yarn companies. And I thought it would just be such an amazing textural thing. And so I went to Annie and she said, oh yeah. So when I went to Annie, I had these 3 picked out because I love Elspeth Levold. Her silky wool is one of my all-time favorites. I have a shawl knit out of a purple of hers that I wear. It's like my go-to. It's just so comforting and soft and lovely and warm, but it's got silk in it. So here's Elizabeth Levold. That is not it at all. There you go. Well, sort of. So I had these 3 together. And then I said but I had that hot pink one as well. But it was too loud. So then Annie found from HD Harrisville Designs. Harrisville Designs, I guess that's just what it is, not HD Harrisville. So there's Shetland base in this pink. And I was like, oh, heck yeah. But then we happened to be talking about this while we were over at the Elspeth Level section. And I saw this baby. And I was like, please, it has to be in here with it. So I've got 2 skeins of each except for the sap color. I've only got 1 skein of that. Don't ask me exactly why. I might be picking up another one just to make it all even. I think I was thinking to myself, oh, that would look horrible next to my skin, so I'll just need it as an accent color. I don't even care anymore. I just want them all together. Now, what I am going to be knitting with this is up for debate. I've got a whole bunch of things going on in my head, but because we're running long, I'm not going to get into them right now. But I was thinking more of some kind of wrap or a sweater. So if you guys have a suggestion, put it in the comments below. So this is all fingering weight. And like the loft one has 275 yards each. I've got enough for a sweater right here. So no worries there. But, you know, sorry, my hands are so dry. Even though I drink so much water, I have to put lotion on constantly. It's annoying. Oh, holy crap. I missed one. There was another one in there. Oh, wait, no. I already showed you this one. I just put it back. That's right. Never mind. Never mind. Okay, something else I got. Apparently, Debbie Bliss Falkland Aran base is discontinued. And so Annie put them immediately on 40% off. And so what did that mean? Emily had to buy a sweater's quantity. So I picked up Blossom colorway, and the main contrasting color is going to be chocolate. So it's a chocolate brown. And then I went back a few days later, and I don't know if I'll use these with this, but this stuff is so freaking soft and lovely. So I picked up purple, and I think it's literally just called purple. Yep, purple. And I picked up a heathered colorway of hers called lilac. And this might all go together in some kind of color work sweater, but for the time being, because it's Aran weight, I am not going to be doing a sweater with it right now. And that is because, as we've mentioned, I happen to be losing weight. Look at all this. It's ridiculous. I'm losing weight, and it's not on purpose. But one thing I don't want to do is to have a bulky Aran weight sweater that is also super duper loose on me. I just don't want it. So I'm gonna wait. It might even wait until next fall. Maybe it'll be my prize for completing the race in September is to cast on that sweater, because by that time I should have lost whatever weight I'm gonna lose with this endeavor, and so I'll know what size to do so that I don't have it all loosey-goosey on me. That's my thought process anyway. Last thing I want to share with you is that for Valentine's Day I splurged because I don't have a Valentine's. So I made myself my Valentine, and my very good friend Helen, Giddy Knits is her company name. Her podcast name is, oh no, I'm sorry. Giddy Knits is her podcast name, but Giddy Yarns is her shop name. And I've watched her from the very beginning. I have one of her very first skeins of yarn, which I absolutely love. I'm hoarding it for something. I just don't know what yet. Ugh. But her color sense is just awesome. And I've been watching her as she has developed her self-striping, and I just had to finally get some. And so these ones spoke to me. So in her gobstopper, or I don't know what you call it, just her ball thing, because I don't think she calls it, she just calls it Giddy Sock. And the colorway is called Bouquet of Roses. And it's 75% superwash and 25% nylon with 464 yards in here. Crazy amount of yardage. It's so gorgeous. And then, wait till you see this one. It's so cute. This one's called Love Hearts. Everything else about it is exactly the same. The base and everything is exactly the same. Oh, I just love this. I love both of them. They make me so happy. So, and she sent me along with that her business card, and on it had a little seahorse charm, which I thought was so cute. I need to get all these charms together so I can actually start using them instead of keeping them connected to like business cards and stuff, because what good is it doing me there? So the only other yarn that I was going to show you, which I don't really need to show you because you've already seen it, because it's actually being knit up right now, is the this entire bag, except for one skein in here, is the sweater. Actually, I've got way too much of the gray, which I'm totally fine with because I could knit. I could knit my brother Ian a hat with this. Yes. There we go. And I do have this here, this blue that I also got from Annie, but I don't know what it is anymore. I'm assuming the tag's in here somewhere. It's a deep blue that I was thinking of making something for my ex-husband for his birthday in May. It's very soft and lovely. So, but he won't wear hats. He really only wears, it's got alpaca in it. He really only wears socks that I knit him, and he loves his knitted socks, so maybe that just won't work. So, because I don't know, alpaca on socks, that would be really slippery. I don't know that I would like that. But anyway, so that's my yarn haul over the past, who knows how long. That's what I'm knitting on. I kind of have gone a little crazy about it. Like I'm back to that place where I sometimes dream of knitting. Instead of having my nightmares, I'm dreaming of knitting. It's so lovely. I love it. I've got a whole bunch of other things that are in the works. I don't really want to talk about them at the moment because what if they don't come to pass? It would be kind of sad. But there's a lot percolating up in this here brain of mine. So we shall see. But I just want to thank you guys for coming back to see me after being gone so long and just being there. I've made so many friends through this podcast. I've missed you guys so much. All over the world. Savanta? No. I'm sorry. In India. I've got friends now in Tasmania. I might be coming to visit. Germany, England, Scotland, Canada. Thank you so much for coming back and being with me this last hour and a half. I hope you love what you knit and that you knit what you love. Take care, guys. Bye.